Hey everybody, this is Alan Fine. I'm here with Mike Reininger, who is the Chief Executive Officer of Brightline Holdings. And that name should sound a little like the train, because that's what we're here for. We're here for the new Orlando train station. It's inaugural, and this is Insider Travel Report. All right, Michael, thank you for talking to us.
Alan, thanks for being here. Pleasure to be here with you.
First question. Did you have an electric train set when you were a kid?
Of course I did. Doesn't everybody?
I want to make sure. Did that inspire you?
Absolutely.
Did you think one day you would be sitting here and doing this?
Who doesn't love trains, right?
Right. Okay, we're here for a celebration. Now, we're going to film it and show it to them, and as we're talking, what can we expect? What are we going to see at this inaugural?
So today is a really important day for us at Brightline. This is the opening of the Orlando station. This is the 6th station in our system but that is connecting Central Florida to South Florida. It's been 10 years in the making, and this is the last major piece of facility that has been constructed and brings us one step away from being able to offer the full service between Miami and Orlando. So
you really got it down pat between Miami and, was it West Palm?
Yeah, we've been running trains between Miami and West Palm Beach now since 2018, and we've been learning every day. You got to remember, we're the first, right? There's never been a private funded passenger rail system in the United States for the last 100 years or so.
And this is a train station in an airport.
Yeah, and that's another important thing. This is that now makes the Orlando International Airport in a very elite club of facilities that have the ability to do a intercity train to plane connection in a very seamless manner.
And so the train can hit, I know the answers, but I want you to tell us how fast and how long to Miami from Orlando?
So the trains have the capacity to run at 125 miles an hour. We're going to offer service, express service, nonstop, which will allow you to get from Orlando to Miami in 2 hours and 59 minutes. And then we'll have other trains that will make multiple stops between Central Florida and South Florida. It'll take a little over 3 hours to do that.
And you're starting about half speed, I think it was 8 trips, and then you're going to get up to 16, 32 round. Tell us the details.
We're going to inaugurate the service soon with 8 round trips a day for a couple of weeks as we sort of go through the inaugural festivities. But we'll very rapidly get to our schedule, which is 16 round trips or 32 trains a day. And the idea is that, from early in the morning, trains leaving Orlando at about 5 o'clock in the morning so that you can have an arrival at 8:30 in Miami and leave Miami in the morning at 6:50 to be able to here for 9:30. So within a few minutes of every hour during the day, we're going to have a train ready to go in the direction that you want to travel.
And so the number of stops that you ultimately will have will be?
So we ultimately have 6 stations, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, West Palm Beach, Boca, Aventura, and now.
That was a quiz. I had it written down. You got it. All right, so let's talk about a lot of planning went into the facilities. What's the experience? What's the user experience going to be?
So nobody's ever done this before, so we got to start with a blank piece of paper. And we didn't think about this like a transportation business. We thought about this like a hospitality service. And so we thought about what the desires and needs of a modern traveler would be from the ground up. Everything from the way you interface with our technology, which is where the customer experience really starts, through the station experience, the onboard experience, and really the sort of culture of the service offering that we produce from top to bottom. We have 2 classes of service. We call it Smart and Premium, and there are various differences, in that. But everything that you see is really groundbreaking.
So we're going to show them now. When you first walk in, there's security. It's not airport security, but it is security nonetheless.
Yep. So we have state-of-the-art technology for a very quick, very seamless security check.
You can check bags if you want.
You can check bags if you want. You can carry bags on if you like. Again, we try to take out the hassle of the system. The security is important. We want you to feel safe. And we want to be safe in every step of the way. So a little bit of a security check is important, but it's almost invisible. It takes seconds, and you're on your way.
And then you walk in, and it doesn't feel like a train station. It feels like a movie set.
Well, that's again part of the experience, right? People always say, like, travel is stressful, right? We don't like accept that premise. We start with, we got to get the stress out of travel, and we got to make it an enjoyable experience from the beginning. And so the way that you do that is you touch every sense, you sort of solve every problem, and you get people in a different mindset about the experience of travel.
You touch every sense, including the scent of smell.
Sure, we get
that for our homes.
You can actually, if you like it, you can buy it in our retail facility in the form of a candle.
What's it called?
We just call it the Brightline scent. Yeah.
Okay, so you hear that, you can get that too. Everything else is commissionable. I don't know about that.
Yeah, we're going to keep that.
Okay. All right. So, but as you come in, you also I think part of what you're trying to do is make the journey as fun as getting there, and you have places to eat and drink. Let's talk about that for a moment.
Sure. So the minute you walk into the station, you can sort of see what the rest of the experience is like. We have a signature cocktail facility we call Mary Mary. We have a little retail operation, so you can grab something to eat. You can get a last minute, retail item or sundry item that you need for the trip, or a special memento of your trip. This is Florida. Lots and lots of people are here for sort of memory-making, hospitality trips, and we like to sort of be part of that. There's high-speed Wi-Fi here. Everywhere you look, there's a plug for you to charge your device, whether you're here in the station or on board the train. You'll hook onto our Wi-Fi network when you walk in here. You'll stay on it when you go onto the train, and it continues all the way to your other end of the destination. So
it really has. It feels like a throwback and modern and futuristic at the same time.
Yeah. So that really has been part of the equation. There is a nostalgic sort of romance about the idea of traveling by train, right? We didn't want to lose that, but on the other hand, this is a modern world, and we wanted to avail you of everything that has to offer, and so we sought to combine those two things. Your
digital messaging is a flip-flap sign.
Yeah, we do have a flip-flap machine here over the bar at Mary Mary. It is digital, right? But so yeah,
there's a show, and you hear it, and you look up, and it makes you think, oh, there's a message for me.
Absolutely. So there you go. That's another example of where you marry transportation and hospitality, right?
All right. Now, partnerships seem to be important. Let's talk about who you're working with.
Yeah, so we've got a series of partnerships. That series is growing, day in and day out. One of the important things that is on the precipice that we'll soon to be have open is the idea of partnering with other travel providers, right? To help us expand the universe of travel, but also help us drive business, right? And so we'll be commissioning travel agents and other third-party providers to help us sell tickets.
And that's us.
That's absolutely you.
And but also, what's your? Well, for example, there's a partnership with Uber that sounds important.
We have a partnership with Uber that helps us execute what we call Brightline Plus, which is the last mile connection, right, from when you leave the station to whatever your ultimate destination is. And so, through that partnership, you can book your last mile connections through our app. So you book one time, you pay one time.
Done and done.
When you get off the train, your car is ready for you and to get you to your end point, as an example.
Which seems really well. You've got a premium lounge, so you go from the premium lounge through the ride, and then you have your ride to the door.
Absolutely, right. So that is the idea, right? Obviously, door to door is the objective, and that's what some of these partnerships have allowed us to be able to offer.
So, do you want to speak toward airline and cruise line partnerships?
Yeah, so we also see tremendous opportunity for both of those sort of connections to the air industry and to the cruise industry. So the obvious example is we're sitting here in the intermodal facility at the Orlando airport. Out the window is our trains. Right next to our trains are the people movers that connect to Terminal A and B in the Orlando airport. Right outside our door is Terminal C that you walk to. So the idea of a train to plane connection is it's game changing, right? So people could imagine trips where they fly into, say, South Florida from an international trip. They could easily connect here into Central Florida for all the things that Central Florida has to offer, and either fly out of Central Florida or take the train back to South Florida, right? The idea of connecting between the cruise port in Miami and the airport here in Orlando is now a seamless experience that is available to everybody. We run shuttles today already from our station in Miami directly to the cruise port. So passengers get off our train in Miami today, there's a bus waiting for them, and they take them directly to the cruise port. So there is this super easy connectivity that is going to be the backbone that'll help us offer these experiences to customers from all over the world.
As our travel advisors start planning trips for their guests, how do they get linked into all of this knowledge?
So we are about to open the portal that will allow the sort of the business-to-business bookings to start to occur.
So until then, they should just go to Brightline, and then when the portal's available, it'll show up.
Yeah. So right now, if you simply go to www.gobrightline.com, you'll be able to make the connection into the booking stream, and very soon the business-to-business connections and the outreach will start to happen, so that we can tie those third-party providers into our system directly.
So let's brag a little bit about, I mean, there's a lot of good you're doing, saving people time, maybe driving, gas, but let's talk about sustainability for yourself.
Yeah, so this is a tremendous business opportunity, right? It is a game-changing business opportunity, but it's all about changing people's habits, right? And you got to get people out of their car. So 35 plus million people today are connecting between the South Florida cities that we serve and the Central Florida hub here in Orlando. Almost all of them are driving. Some of them are flying, but the point-to-point air market is not that big. We built a product that is designed for those trips that are too long to drive and too short to fly. That's where we live. And we're about to deliver the full sort of spectrum of that in this 235-mile connection between Miami and Orlando. We think there's going to be 9 million people or so. We think we can capture, about that many total trips between the markets over time, and that makes for a spectacular business for us.
But now you could use and I'm being facetious now, use the worst fuel and still save, because people are using one conveyance. Yeah. But you're using what kind of fuel?
Yeah, so our trains run on biodiesel, so that's already an improvement. We're also, like, across the board, from a sustainability perspective, we just are a better way. We're taking cars off the road. We're lowering greenhouse gases. We burn biodiesel. We are simply more efficient and more eco-friendly across the board.
And what about the jobs you're creating?
This has also been a huge economic engine for the state of Florida. So we have produced more than 7 million man-hours of construction labor as we invested $5 billion into this transportation infrastructure. Here in Orlando alone, we're hiring 175 people for our operation. We have 100 people in our maintenance operation here in Orlando that are making the trains safe and ready every single day. We have about 500 direct employees in the business as we speak today. So this has been a GDP generator in the billions of dollars for the state of Florida, and we're very proud of that.
It's a win-win-win-win-win-win situation.
Yes, it absolutely is.
Well, good luck to you, Mike, and it really, I'm very happy to be here, and I'm glad to show all of our 115,000 travel advisors this. Do you have any last words for them?
So give us a try, because what we believe is when you give us a try and you see what this service has to offer as an alternative to driving your car, you're going to fall in love with us, and you and your customers are going to be happy that they had the Brightline experience.
Thanks for talking to us.
Thanks, Alan. Appreciate it.
And this is Alan Fine for Insider Travel Report.